also have Tim Neal up there. Like, you know, current
Tim
world
Neal,
record holder.
the world record
Get him
holder
down.
from Munich.
We'll double up. At the top there. Yeah, right at the back. Next to the man talking.
So you see, we found another one. Team equalized the European. That was new for European.
In Munich.
But equalized the world.
No, new world record. New world record.
And new European.
And new European.
Yeah.
New world and European record. Boom, 148. Incredible shot.
Yes. Money. What is? For tomorrow? You already arranged for tomorrow? Bravo. Thanks.
How do you know when we're live?
When Antonella will finish the introduction.
We go live. Are you on?
We are on, they say, but they told me when it's finished, the introduction, start. It's going to be a long process. I don't mind. Metal matches also. And then men.
So, here you are.
No, devo chiamare il russo che sta seduto.
What time is the final?
I don't know.
Perché devo chiamare il russo, capito?
4:30.
Devo chiamare il russo che sta
Yeah,
seduto.
we have another 11
Il
minutes.
direttore russo sta seduto, devo fare un
Me too. But it's Kevin Gill who will be commentating. Kevin Gill is because he has something in the final.
Yes.
I will do the introduction and Matthew.
Test fire.
He was kind enough to take over. It's a double computer. And I will bring in also the new world record holder. 148 in Munich.
They're going to drag Tim in soon. I'm doing the whole thing. Tim's doing a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And I was asking him, is he here? Is he here? Yeah. will take place 26 minutes after 4 minutes before 4:30. Okay? And it will take place there. So you have another 5 minutes to relax. Okay?
In about 5 minutes and it'll go 4:30. Grab me a bottle of water, Kev, if you get a chance.
No, Philip, smile. Why not?
Oh, if you've got
Kevin just said you needed one, so we don't get on it.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
This is gin inside. Gin and ananas juice.
Qualcosa stanno da fare dopo. Sono scusali che io hanno lasciato.
Hello.
When the commentating finish, I start.
Doing your job for you. Looking on your ISSF website for information.
Ah. You will find the shooter's profiles?
Correct.
Go direct to Philip
Ladies
Ryan.
and
Philip
gentlemen,
Ryan.
the organizing committee for the European Championship 2014 and the European Shooting Confederation welcome you to Charles Pusta Shooting Range. The final competition for the double trap men junior will now begin. Shooter number 1, representing Italy, Andrea Vescovi. Shooter number 2, representing Great Britain, James Dadman. Shooter number 3, representing Russian Federation, Anton Klepushkin. Shooter number 4, representing Slovakia, Filip Praj. Shooter number 5, representing Russian Federation, Kirill Fokiv. Shooter number 6, representing Malta, Nathan Lee Chweret. The jury man in charge for today's final is Mr. Maurice Godel from Great Britain. And the referee for today's final is Mr. Onorino Cognini from Italy. The double trap men junior competition can now start.
Dear shooting friends, We welcome you to the live streaming, the double top shooting, men junior, the European Championship 2004, organized in Charlotte, Bushra, Hungary. I'm very glad to have with me Mr. Matthew French, the GBR British champion and record holder of Great Britain, who will be commentating on the details of this fight. So, Matthew.
Thank you for having me. We have 6 very young but very experienced shooters in our semi-final today. Qualifying in first place was Kirill Fokiv with a fantastic 139, and behind him we had another Russian, Anton Slespushkin, on 137. In third place was the Maltese shooter Nathan Zubet on 136. Fourth place was Philip Praj on 133 of Slovakia. Then we have Great Britain's James Dedman in 5th place on 132. And then Italian Andrei Vescovi on 131. With the scores now returned to 0 for the semi-final and the order jumbled up. We start the semi-final from scratch, and we'll see how they go in their first few pairs.
We remind our shooting friends that the double trap finals are composed of 2 stages. First is the semi-final stage, where the shooters will each shoot 15 doubles, 30 targets. After the semi-final stage, 5 and 6 will be eliminated. Number 1 and number 2 will qualify for the medal match. Number 3 and 4 will qualify for the bronze match.
So far they've each shot 2 pairs. We've had a few misses. We've had 1 miss from James Dedman from Great Britain, and 1 miss from the Russian Slespushkin, and 1 miss from Kirill Fokiv. The rest have all hit their pairs so far. There's some fantastic experience in this final. We have Kirill Fokiv, who is the son of Vitaly Fokiv, the Russian champion, world record, former world record holder, former world champion, multiple Olympian. If you look at the 2 styles, they're almost identical. He's like a clone of his father, who's certainly one of my idols, someone I've studied greatly over the years. And his son seems destined for great things also. From Great Britain, we have James Dedman, who is being coached by our Olympic gold medalist, Peter Wilson. Only been shooting double trap for 2 years and has improved dramatically, has been British junior champion. I believe this is only his 2nd international. He went to the World Championships last year in Peru and done fantastically well, finishing 4th. So he'll be very pleased to be in today's final. Also among them we have Philip Praj of Slovakia, who's won a World Championship bronze medal as a junior. And he's also won gold and silver at European level. So he'll be looking for another medal to add to his collection. Nathan Zubet from Malta seems to have been around for a long time. Very young man, done some fantastic things at junior and senior level. He's entered 2 or 3 senior men's finals now. Joining me now is my teammate Tim Neal from Great Britain, who is now the current world and European record holder. Recently set the record in the Munich World Cup only a couple of weeks ago. Welcome, Tim.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Good to be here out in Hungary, the European champs. Unfortunately, things like this as well as Munich, but difficult to kind of get back on form after only 2 weeks of competition.
It's we would have both liked to have not been sat here and been in our own final, Tim, but we can't always win.
That's it. Great to see some of these junior shooting some excellent scores in these tricky conditions here.
Yeah, fantastic. The Italian in this final has some history behind him as well. He's made 2 semi-finals at European level, finishing 4th and 6th, respectively, in the last couple of years. The second Russian in this final, Sles Pushkin, made the semi-final last year in Seoul at the European Championships. So he'll be looking to go one step further to make a medal match this time.
Yeah, we can see the 2 guys that were currently leading, the Italian and Filip Praj of Slovakia, have both just missed their last targets. Filip just dropped a complete pair, which is a bit of a surprise, and it's kind of opened the field right up with the Italian junior at the minute leading with just 1 target behind. And there's Filip again, just let another one slip by. Yeah, I was just talking to Steve Scott, our British senior shooter, in the stadium a minute ago, and who we were having a Euro bet with. I had my money on the Russian Fokiv, and he put his on Nathan from Malta, who is current European champion, I believe. So just hanging in there for my €1 bet with Scotty. You can see our other guy though, James Deadman, his first international final, is really doing himself proud. He's sticking in there and going well with the rest of them. At the minute, currently sat in joint 2nd position.
It's been tricky conditions today. 1 minute the sun's out, and next it's disappeared, and it's quite tough to see. Certainly the second target as it disappears up into the cloud. It's quite on and off, been quite windy. Relatively good this morning, but the wind picked up in the afternoon. So the targets are far from easy. They have to keep their concentration to see who qualifies for these medal matches.
Yeah, I think lens selection has been key as well today with the light changing conditions. It's been very difficult, and kind of found myself getting caught out on the last round there with having the wrong coloured lenses in because the light suddenly changed, and 1 minute the sun's out and they're nice and bright and big, and then next thing they're looking like aspirins flying away there. So I say it's been far from easy. So it's some excellent shooting from these guys and the seniors as well. You know, and the scores are kind of 5 or 6 down from the World Cup in Munich, but I say it just goes to show how good the conditions were in Germany a fortnight ago compared to here. But I mean, you can't fault the targets; they are flying very well. It's just difficult to see them.
Yeah, completely agree with that. It's the miss is purely the shooter's fault. But the conditions are a lot trickier than Munich. Munich was probably some of the best conditions I think most of us have ever shot in. This is a lot stiffer range. But the juniors, certainly these days, every year that goes by, in the junior final, there's always 2 or 3 of the juniors that shoot scores that were good enough or would have been good enough to get into the senior men's final. Such is the standard of junior shooting now. As juniors goes up to 21, they're towards the end of their junior career. They're almost men anyway, and yeah, they're right up there with the best.
Yeah, and just as we're coming up to the end of the first 20 targets, at the moment, the Italian junior Vescovi is leading with only 1 target behind, and then we have James Deadman and Kirill Fokiv tied for 2nd place with 2 targets down, and then Filip Praj is 3 behind, and the Russian Slespukin and Nathan from Malta are both 4 behind.
So we have a protest from Nathan from Malta. Believes he's hit the target that they've given him a loss for. Just wait to see what the outcome will be. All very important with scores being so tight.
Yeah, that's it. Only 3 targets separating first from 6th at the moment, and 1 target can be the difference between a medal, whatever colour. So we can see Nathan's getting quite agitated on the line. He's been referred to the jury, and it looks like he's not getting the target. So in this situation, Matt, how would you deal with this? I mean, it's obviously a disruption to the line, it's a disruption to the shooter. I mean, it's very difficult to keep your concentration and focus in a situation like this.
Yeah, it's hard because it doesn't actually happen that often, so it's something that you struggle to prepare for. If you're the shooter involved and you truly believe you've hit something that they've given you as a miss, it's if it doesn't go your way, you've soon got to let it go. Otherwise, you can carry that miss onto your next few pairs and let it ruin your routine. If you're another member on the squad, I think you just have to forget what's going on, concentrate on your own routine, stick to what you've been doing, and try not to let it bother you. Sometimes the break can upset your routine and the rhythm of the squad. And as we say that, the current leader, Vescovi from Italy, just missed his 2nd target of the round. And so did James Deadman, who's now dropped his 3rd of the round. Now, whether we could equate that to the delay on the squad there, we're not sure. We don't have to speak to them about that. But it certainly... It's created a few misses straight off the back.
Yeah, that was Filip Praj from Slovakia as well, dropping 1. So it's interesting that the 4 guys after the break have all dropped 1. And there again, there's Fokiv as well from Russia. So 5 out of, or 4 out of the last 5 have all dropped 1 after that break. So we can see it definitely had an influence on their shooting and certainly disrupted them. So something they had to work on in the future. Well, it looks like Vescovi's settled himself and just got on with the job at hand, though. And James Deadman as well. Yeah, we can see now things are getting tight with 3 or 4 pairs to go till the end. So at the moment we've got Vescovi leading with James Deadman in 2nd at the moment, and then it's anybody's game after that. Yeah, that's Fokiv just missed 1 there, so James Deadman stays in 2nd, joint with Nathan from Malta. So you can see the scoreboard's turned around completely, really, apart from Vescovi, who's managed to go in and set the pace. Although, as I've just said that, he's dropped another target, so he's on 23, and James Deadman has just reeled him in, and he's on 23 also. So, and got to say also that James Deadman's been coached by the current Olympic champion Peter Wilson. So Pete's been having a huge influence on him, and James almost looks like an exact replica of Pete in the way he shoots and his style and technique. So as we come down to the last 2 pairs, there's 3 people tied for 1st place with Vescovi, Deadman and Nathan from Malta. Well, that's the Italian just dropped another target, so that's 2 on the bounce. James Deadman has shot his 2, so James is currently in the lead. We now have Slespukin from Russia, who's currently lying in 4th position. Shoots his pair. So I'd imagine these guys are starting to feel the pressure a bit. They're probably going to know what position they're in, what the situation is, and kind of trying to do the best they can and dig in. They know they've got a few targets to go.
Yeah, the last couple of pairs are always interesting. If they're counting what pairs they've had, they should start to know what they've got left, especially with only now 1 pair to go. They'll all be setting up for their preferred target of this pair, and they would like to think they're going to hit it. But as we say that, the Italian, who has led for the vast majority of this final, has missed 4 out of his last 5 targets. James Deadman of Great Britain has now just missed his last target.
And there could be a shoot-off here for the gold medal. The Russians there, and there is.
Yes.
Two tied on first place.
Pushkin hits his last pair to finish on 26, tied with James Deadman. Filip Praj from Slovakia misses his last bird, finishes on 24. Oh, and we have a protest.
Yeah, if Philip had hit that pair, he could have challenged for 3rd place.
It looks like the protest hasn't been upheld.
And he's got his 2 targets.
Oh, and he's been given the 2 targets. He's been given 2 kills, so he's now finished on 25, tied with Vescovi of Italy. Kirill Fokiv hits his last pair, finishes on 26, again tied with Pushkin and James Deadman. And we have Nathan Joubert of Malta, also hits his last pair and finishes on 26.
It's not all over yet, though. Pete Wilson, James's coach, is now just putting a protest in. We're not sure what for. I believe it's over either one of James's targets or somebody else's. But I think Pete said that he believes James had hit 27, not 26. So he must have seen a puff of dust somewhere. But if it doesn't go through at the moment, there's 4 guys shooting off for the gold medal, which is just incredible. You know, the margin for error is just so tight in double trap at the moment, which is reflected in trap and skeet as well. Everything's just so tight and just reflects the standard of shooting that's going around the world and Europe at the moment.
Agreed, the scores just keep getting higher and higher from seniors and juniors and ladies and men. It is looking like the protest hasn't been upheld. So we will have 2 men now drop out of this semi-final. Filip Praj from Slovakia and Andrei Vescovi. They will now vacate the range as they have finished 5th and 6th. The other 4 shooters will now shoot off to see who qualifies for the gold and silver medal match and the bronze 4th place medal match.
We can see Pete Wilson and Kevin Gill still protesting with Mo Gattel, the current jury member for the final. So they're still trying to argue their case. I'm pretty sure it is that Pete thought that James had hit 27 and not 26. I mean, this can't be easy for James. You know, it's obviously a very emotional and fraught time. Has he won the European Championships? Has he got to shoot off for a medal, effectively? I mean, it can't be very easy for him. I mean, we can see it looks like James is now accepting how things stand and just getting away from the mayhem, just trying to keep himself calm and cool. The rest of the 4 guys that are shooting off for the medals.
Very shortly now we should see a sudden death shoot-off to see who makes it into the medal matches. Again, it's between Nathan Joubert of Malta, Kirill Fokiv of Russia, Pushkin of Russia, and James Deadman from Great Britain. They will go on to peg 1, and they will shoot the wide pair. So trap 7 and 9 of the middle of the trench. So they will know what pair they're getting, and it will be sudden death, missing out, to decide who makes it into the medal matches.
Yeah, and this is a whole new dimension again to the changes in double trap. I mean, it's completely changed to how it used to be when it was just 50 targets and we knew where they were. That many of us have shot so many years ago. I mean, it's not so bad for these guys that have come in now, and it's just normal. But you've almost got to have 3, if not 4, techniques to shoot this now, because you've got the normal qualification over 150. Then we've got a situation like this where you shoot just the wide scheme, as it was known, with a sudden death, and then we've got a normal final again, but then a semi-final, or a semi-final and then a final shot over the middle 3 ranges with 2 pairs of targets from traps 7 and 8, and 2 from 8 and 9, and 1 pair from 7 and 9 off each 3 pads. So we're just joined by Steve Scott here, who is just kind of watching the final and just preparing for his own senior final. How are you feeling at the minute, Mr. Scott?
Yeah, very good. Very happy to be in the final. Just seeing what the dispute is about on the junior range at the minute. It's very good shooting that's been going on in the junior final. It's very interesting to watch. So looking forward to watching the gold medal matches and seeing the result from that first of all.
Thanks, Scotty, and excellent shooting today to get into the final as well. Yeah, like we said, it's not been easy conditions, but the scores in the seniors have been very high, as well as the juniors as well. And we can see a range of countries in the final here as well, going from Britain to Italy, Russia, Slovakia, and Malta. There's not one country dominating quite so much as maybe in the seniors with I don't know, the kind of big countries are
Italy.
Russia and Italy and America and China, and then the odd kind of individual from different countries, I guess. Hopefully us from Britain are kind of mounting a good campaign ready for the World Championships to be held in Granada in September. And then obviously next year with quota places up for grabs for Rio, everybody's starting to gear up and kind of ramp up the training, and the standards are going up and up as a result. So
Of the juniors on show here, we have Philip Pradge, very, very nearly won a quota place for the last Olympic Games in London. One of the last World Cups of a chance to qualify for the Olympics in 2012. Philip ended up in a sudden death shoot-off with Daniel Despino from Italy, which Despino won, and that would have been for a quota place. So it goes to show age is really no obstacle in reaching major achievements in this sport. In the senior men's final, we will see Kirill Fokiv's father, Vitali. He's a regular in the men's double trap finals. Can't seem to shake him off. He's always there. And I think Kirill will be just like his dad in the future if he carries on the way he's going. He's going to be a fantastic talent and be someone for myself and Tim to try and beat in the future if we're still around when he's in the men's event. There's still a protest going on over James Deadman's targets. I've really no idea how it's progressing or which way it's going. We have 3 of the shooters involved in this 4-way shoot-off ready to go. But while the protest rumbles on, I'm afraid they're just going to have to sit and wait.
Yeah, and also in these new finals, there used to be 10 seconds that a shooter had to kind of call and shoot his targets. This year, we've noticed that the referees have actually got a television screen with a 12-second counter counting down from when the referee says ready. So there's kind of more to contend with as well, with having the referee telling you when to shoot and then knowing that the clock is ticking. So it's an extra added pressure, if you like. So it's certainly a big change from the previous system, but I think it adds that tension. People watching can see the counter ticking down on the TV screen, and they know what's going on. So I know in Munich there was 2 people in the final, myself was one of them, that got yellow cards for taking too much time. And it certainly was new to myself. and it was kind of there in the back of my head all the time that the referee was telling me to shoot, and not rushing me, but it was, you know, you kind of knew you had to get on and do it when he said shoot, that you had 12 seconds, whereas previously you'd never have thought about it. So yeah, this new system of double trap has definitely got a whole range of new dimensions to it to deal with for shooters, and it's maybe not always appreciated by, you know, people watching what it actually involves and what's going on and what everybody's got to deal with. And I think these guys that are in the final and, you know, we're shooting off for a gold medal now have done it extremely well. You know, it just goes to show, you know, that the four of them can deal with the situation and have made the most of it. But yeah, we can see now it looks like James Deadman's protest has not been upheld, and they're now shooting off for the gold medal. So, as Matt said, they're now shooting off on station one after the other. Traps 7 and 9. So James Deadman shoots his 2 pair. So he's kind of still in for the gold medal shoot off, if you like. So now we've got Slespushin from Russia. So again, taking his time, getting ready. The count is counting down, and he's missed his first target. So now we've got Fokiv from Russia, the other Russian in the final. So just getting ready, and this wind is just swirling around the ground at the moment. It's not making things easy at all. And he as well has missed his second target. So that's James Deadman into the gold medal shoot-off. We just have to see if it's going to be with Nathan or one of the Russians now. So Nathan's getting ready on peg 1. And he as well has dropped a target. So that's James Deadman definitely in the gold medal shoot-off. So he wasn't even sure that he'd made the gold medal shoot-off or not, James. He was so in his in his zone. So now we've got 2 Russians and a Maltese shooter all shooting off to get into the gold medal shoot-off.
Yeah, James showing how new to this he is. He was walking on to shoot his second pair when he didn't need to, so he's already in the gold medal match. And we've got to decide who joins him. That was Slespushin of Russia. Hits his second pair very clean. His teammate Kirill Fokiv steps up now to shoot his pair. Another clean kill. We now move on to Nathan from Malta. They seem to have all shaken off their nerves and found a bit of rhythm now as they easily hit their second shoot-off pair.
Yeah, they must be all really feeling the pressure now, and they know there's only one spot for that gold and silver position. So if one of them qualifies now, they've guaranteed themselves a medal. So it kind of makes a big difference in their mentality if they get into that gold medal shoot-off or just into the bronze. At least in the gold and silver medal shoot-off, they've kind of come away with something. Whereas in the bronze and 4th position, they could still walk away here with nothing after shooting off for the gold.
We had a miss there from Kirill Fokiv of Russia. If Nathan from Malta hits this pair, it would just be him and Slespushin, which he does. So Kirill Fokiv now drops out of the shoot-off and will contest the bronze medal match. As Tim was saying, it's an awful feeling when you've had the chance to shoot for gold and you've missed out on that shoot-off to then drop into the 3rd, 4th place medal match. And lost the chance of a guaranteed medal. Someone, I'm afraid, is going to come away with this with nothing. So Slespushin now loads up for his 4th pair in the shoot-off. And misses his second target. If Nathan from Malta hits this pair, he will join James Deadman in the gold-silver medal match. And he's missed his second target. The shoot-off will carry on.
Yeah, both these guys must be really focused on each other and feeling the pressure as well. You know, and it's not uncommon to see shooters miss after someone else has missed as well. It's quite often you see it run down a line. I've seen it today in my line, and five guys in a row missed, and that was the Russian shooter actually dropped a complete pair there, so he's left the door wide open here for Nathan from Malta.
Nathan loads up for his pair. Only needs one. Hits the pair. So that's it. We have James Deadman and Nathan Zubert will contest the gold-silver medal match. And Kirill Fokiev and his teammate Slespuskin, the two Russians, will contest the bronze medal match.
And the two shooters for the gold medal match are James Deadman from Great Britain and Nathan Lee Chwerg from Malta.
There'll be no rest for these guys now. It'll be straight on with the shoot-offs for the medals. The shoot-off for the medals is slightly different, as Tim was saying earlier. This will now be contested over stations 2, 3 and 4, where they'll receive 2 pairs of A, 2 pairs of B scheme and 1 pair of C scheme, the wide scheme. Again, they won't know which order they're getting these pairs, but it certainly puts a different spin on what would be a normal round of double trap, which is obviously shot over 5 stations. So there'll be more targets that they have to have a great deal more gun movement for. So they'll have to keep their eyes peeled, see where they're going. And again, as the wind picks up, it's going to be tricky targets. They're rising quite a lot in this wind, and it's a bit of pot luck whether you get a good or a bad pair sometimes in the wind. So you need a bit of luck on your side in conditions like this. The saving grace is that the sun is out and on the back of the clays, and they look big. They're very, very visible. So they'll have no problem locating them.
We've just had one of our UK supporters call us up and tell us that we're not doing a very good job on the speakers here, so we've got to speak up and be a bit clearer. Apologies, Dave. So we can see here the guys are just starting to get ready for the bronze medal shoot-off. James Deadman and Nathan have disappeared. They're going to get a 20-minute, 30-minute break and kind of recharge their batteries. But as Matt was saying, there's no rest for these guys now shooting the bronze medal shoot-off. It's straight on, and the conditions are certainly getting tougher. The sun's out, everybody's hot. It's been a long day, so it's definitely a test of endurance now as to who's going to be the best shot at the end of the day.
Which one of our compadres, Tim, which Dave of ours was moaning about our commentary?
Oh, it's Dave Wathen, so one of our other Great Britain shooters, Sam Wathen's dad.
David, great guy. He's been involved in Great Britain, shooting the setup for quite a number of years. Does a lot of organising and running around. He's a big fan of pies, if I remember rightly, and hot dogs, I believe.
I believe his son Sam loves the hot dogs more than Dave, though.
I believe there's some sort of record for Sam in a hot dog eating competition back at home. Slightly detracting from the shooting which is going on here, but we're on a bit of a break at the moment as we wait for everyone to gear themselves up for this bronze medal match.
Ladies and gentlemen, the two finalists for the bronze medal match are Anton Slepushkin, Russian Federation, and Kirill Fokiv, Russian Federation. Good luck.
As these two young men, both from Russia, I'm sure they've shot off against each other countless times in training and competitions at home, although I very much doubt they've ever shot off under these conditions before. One will come away happy with a bronze medal. The other will probably feel slightly robbed to come away with nothing, having had the chance to shoot for gold. There was nothing much to choose between them in qualification. Kirill and Slepushkin qualified with the two highest scores, 139 and 137 respectively. So they maybe feel slightly aggrieved that they're not in the gold-silver medal match, but that's the way the rules are now. You don't carry your score over from the qualification rounds. It returns to 0, and you have to start again.
Yeah, and that's certainly a big change again. I mean, I know in Munich, a lot of people said to me after I'd shot, 148 plus 39 in the semi-final, under the old rules, I would have actually won the event. So, some of these guys can shoot a huge score in qualification, plus a pretty good score in the semi-final, which under the old rules would have won an event and now come away with nothing. So the changes have definitely made it more interesting, and quite often this has been the case with the guy that's qualified first after 150 targets is not always the guy that comes away with a medal. So it's definitely changed the dynamics of how the finals work and kind of the pressures that these shooters have to deal with. We can see here both shooters have shot 6 targets and both have dropped one.
First,
so
3 doubles of the bronze medal match. One missed each shooter. So 5 both for Fokiv and 5 Slepushkin.
yeah, so that was the first rotation of the 3 stands shot within the final for the medal matches. You can see there the second target of Slepushkin appeared to carry on, but there was just one puff of dust, and that's all it takes to count as a kill. I did see one of the referees twitch his flag, but quickly brought it back down again. So both shooters are still only 1 target behind, or 1 target lost, sorry.
That is one of the differences with the flash finals. In qualification, you just use normal clay targets, and for it to be classed as a kill, there must be a visible broken piece. But in the finals and semi-finals, we use flash clays with a flash powder pack attached to them. You don't have to see a visible broken piece. You just have to see a flash. So quite often you do see these flash targets just puff a piece of dust out where they have been struck hard enough to release the dust, and that is classed as a kill. But the refs have to be quite sharp to spot it. Myself and Tim just saw the dust out of the previous target that was almost disputed, but thankfully the right decision was made. We've had one more missed target in the meantime from Kirill Fokiv. After 6 pairs, he has now missed 2 targets, and Anton Slepushkin is still only the 1 miss.
Yeah, and back to the flash targets, that there is a huge variation in the manufacturers of these targets, with some people going for the powder inside the targets on the underside with a clay bottom. So the clay is actually, or the powder is actually sandwiched between 2 bits of clay. And other manufacturers putting the powder on the top in the dish on the top of the target, and then putting a sticky plastic tab on the top to hold it in place. So it's kind of I guess that the consistency within the targets isn't always the same. We can now see that Kirill Fokiv has dropped another 2 targets, so he's currently 2 behind Anton Schlespuken for the bronze medal. And at the minute, Anton looks like like he settled into his rhythm a lot better than Kirill. His timing's a lot better. He's picking up the targets a lot easier.
15 for Fokiv.
So both shooters still have 6 pairs to go. So it can still all change, and that's certainly one thing we've seen in the final or the semi-final, how the standings change so quickly after just a short number of targets. And as I say that, Anton Schlespuken misses another target. And Kirill Fokiv hits his 2, so there is now just 1 target difference between the 2 shooters.
There we see another miss from Slepushkin. Kirill Fokiv had the chance to pull all square there, but missed his second bird. Quite hesitant on his second target. As we're down to the last 4 pairs, these boys should really know now what pairs they have left, if they have been counting. Some people do, some people don't. But I believe Kirill may have made a slight error there in what pair he believed he was getting, causing a hesitation to his second target, which caused a miss.
Slepukin still leading by 1 target on Fokiv. Last doubles to go.
Yeah, and interesting to see the guns that these guys are using as well. You can see Fokiv is using one of the newly designed guns with an ergonomically designed hand grip, whereas Anton Schlespuken is using just a traditional all wooden stock. So you can see these guys are kind of using opposite ends of the technological kind of forefront, if you like, of gun stocks. And what kind of difference do you think that's made, Matt, in terms of shooting worldwide at the moment?
Certainly these custom hand grips, we hadn't seen any 5 years ago, 6 years ago. They were nowhere to be seen. The best thing you could do was have a standard wooden one made for you to fit from the factory. That was as good as it got. And then a company called Neil Griff in Germany started producing these custom-made hand grips, these ergonomical stocks, which are adjustable in every direction possible. And you get so much more control. Now, we go into the last pair of this shoot-off, all square. And Slepushkin has just missed his last target. Kirill Fokiv, if he hits his last pair, will take bronze. And he does. That turned round very quickly, with Slepushkin missing his second target on his last 2 pairs, and Kirill hitting his last 4 pairs straight to come from behind and take the bronze medal, 26 targets to 25. His dad will be very pleased. He'll be hoping to come away with a medal of his own a bit later this afternoon. Getting back to the stocks, I changed to one myself 18 months ago, and it was certainly one of the best things that I ever did in terms of improving gun control and recoil and body position. I believe you changed to one yourself not that long ago, Tim.
Yeah, I changed end of last season, so I'd shot my custom-made stock up until the World Championships in Peru last year, and then had a new stock made by Wilfred Nil from Nil Griff as well, and then kind of my first international shoot at Munich came out and broke the world record. So it definitely had a good impact on my shooting. And yeah, I'd go back you all the way there on saying it's got better control, body position, hand position. Yeah, just a definite technical advantage, which I think has come from rifle and pistol shooting, really. So it's interesting to see that such a precision sport as rifle and pistol has had an impact on equally a precision sport as shotgun and crossed over. So it'll be interesting to see if anything else changes, or if anything else happens, or we pick up any new improvements from rifle and pistol. So now James and Nathan are about to enter into the gold medal shoot-off. So James Deadman has been drawn to shoot first, and Nathan following him. So it's not always the easiest position to shoot from, going in first, because you don't get a chance to see any hold points at all as you kind of move onto a pad, and then you're fresh into the target. So it's probably a disadvantage to go first, really, whereas Nathan might be able to pick up the odd first bird depending on which pair he gets, or which pair James gets before him.
Both these shooters, even in junior terms, are very young. Juniors goes up to 21 years of age, and then you have to compete as a senior. James Deadman is only 16, and I believe Nathan is only 17 years old. So they've got years of competing against each other to come, as James Deadman cleanly hits his first pair out. Nathan has missed his second target. Again, we see a situation where we have one shooter with the ergonomical custom-made hand grip stock, Neil Griff stock, and one standard custom-fit wooden stock. Both shooting Perazzi high ribs, slightly different height ribs, I believe, on the guns, but they are the same model, just with slightly different technical changes.
Interesting to see there as well, Matt. We have this 12-second counter. So James Deadman at the minute is waiting for the referee to say ready, which he has done. The referee has clicked the counter, and we're now currently at 8 seconds where James shot. And the previous pair, Nathan was very quick to lift his gun, as he has now, and he's mounted the gun before the count has even started. So it'll be interesting to see if the referees pick up on this, because it was definitely a big no-no in Munich. You had to wait until the referee was ready and the cameras were in position, so spectators can see exactly what's going on behind them. So again, James has waited. The counter starts, and away they go. And Nathan, again, very quick to close his gun. It doesn't appear as if the referees are picking up on this at all. Not that it's bothering any shooter at the moment, but if they do start, and one of them has to wait and delay their gun mount and slow their preparation down, it might start to cause some problems. I'd imagine more for Nathan than James. James is a very steady shooter. He's very deliberate and very similar to Pete, as he looks exactly like Pete Wilson. Whereas Nathan is a lot quicker. He looks a lot more relaxed, just gets the gun up and does the job. So after the first 10 pairs, we can see that both shooters have only dropped one target each. So at the moment, they're just neck and neck with 20 targets to go.
As we've said time and time again, how quickly things can change in double trap, as James Deadman drops a complete pair. But far from being out of it, he's only one target behind, as Nathan has dropped the second target of his pair. So it's 9 hits to 10 after 6 pairs. Nathan is the cousin of the very famous Maltese shooter William ECh2014, who I'm sure will be sat at home watching this eagerly. I believe he's him and his wife have just had a baby, so congratulations to him and his wife. I'm sure we'll see William and Nathan at the World Championships in Granada in September.
Yeah, and before that, a lot of us in the Commonwealth countries of the Commonwealth Games to contend as well, Matt. So we'll definitely be shooting against Nathan and William again before the World Championships. I mean, you see James Deadman here is kind of rattled after that drop pair. He's now shot 11 targets with Nathan on 13. So Nathan can't quite close the gap just yet. There's still only 2 targets within it, with 7 pairs to go, so we're just about halfway. So it's interesting. It's interesting when one shooter misses, that the other shooter misses as well. Whether they can take the opportunity or whether they see it as their chance and they do things slightly different. It's difficult to say. I mean, I know if I'm in this situation and someone misses, and you think all of a sudden I've got a chance to go in there and close the door, it doesn't always happen because you think differently and you do things differently. How do you think about that, Matt?
Yeah, I agree. It can cause you to tighten up. For some reason, you just try that little bit harder to hit that pair, to give yourself that gap, and all of a sudden the gun doesn't move as freely as it should do. Your eyes just don't pick up the target so well. Your whole body tightens up, and before you know it, you've missed as well, and you've given away your opportunity to extend a lead. James he had certainly given Nathan a chance to get away in this gold medal match, but Nathan hasn't taken it as yet, with still only 2 targets in it.
Yeah, James seems to have regained his composure and is back on track with the last 3 pairs being broken very nicely and cleanly. He looks to be focusing extremely hard on his routine, getting himself ready. And there we can see the referee calling ready for that shot and the counter starting. Unfortunately, James has just let another one slip. Everything looked good, but I say sometimes everything looks correct and you just can't understand why the target doesn't break. But Nathan is taking his opportunity here and is now 3 targets clear of James Deadman with 6 targets to go, 3 pairs. So we can see here Pete Wilson is biting his fingernails, clenching his fists. Obviously he wants James to win the European Championships, as Pete did as a junior. Back in Maribor in Slovenia. And then obviously went on to Olympic glory. So now with two pairs left, we can see Nathan is ahead of James by 3 targets. So really Nathan would have to drop a complete pair really for James to catch him up here.
James Deadman, I'm afraid, it seems the pressure finally got to him and he's dropped another complete pair. Nathan dropped one of his pair, but with only 2 targets left and a 4-target lead, Nathan Joubert from Malta is the double trap junior men European champion. This is still a fantastic achievement for James Deadman in his only his 2nd international appearance as a junior. He shot fantastically well today, and he should be very, very proud of himself to come away with a silver medal. Nathan hits his last pair and takes the gold medal match, 26 targets to James's 22.
From Malta. Congratulations also to James Deadman for the silver medal.
Nathan this is his 2nd European title now at such a young age. Is fantastic. James will be back again for many, many years to try and contest for another gold medal, but we all hope he's very pleased with his silver. Nathan has shot fantastically all day. He finished on 136 in qualification, 3rd highest score from the juniors, and he shot fantastically well to come through the field to take gold.
Boy, it's very good. Okay. Will you do the men also?
How much?
How
much?
You are on live streaming. I was listening to you. And
Is it right?
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, on the YouTube on the internet.
You can fetch us a beer each and we'll do it.
Definitely. 2 beers.
Two beers. That's we are cheap.
And I will bring you the list of the men.
Bring us a list of the men.
Okay.
We'll get some info. And
Get
we'll,
some info.
Yeah.
You know the men anyway.
Yeah.
2 beers.
How long before?